moving into a time of Q&A. There is a link there if you want to send your questions anonymously, or you can send your questions to Q&A. So we'll start off with the questions because we have a bunch of them, and I'm sure Mr. Pramod will have a bunch of things to say on that. So the first question is, Mr. Pramod was always talking about it, and it says about purpose. So the question is, how do I find my purpose in life?
Firstly, Jobin, I want to apologize that it took longer than I had imagined. So I'll make the questions as short as possible. So I would say that this is serious. I mean, if you really want to find your purpose, from my own life, I'll make it practical. I won't preach, but it was a lot of prayer. And even then, God reveals it step by step, and your purpose will always be an amalgamation, a few things, of your aptitude, your talents, your situation, and everything. Your purpose is there, because I'll tell you, and the second thing is, your purposes will not be about you. It'll be about, in some way, being a blessing to others. If that is there within your purpose statement, you're on the right path. If it is all about me, then it is very difficult. You remember, I may have told you before, when I was growing up, I had a friend in Singapore. He said, my life is all about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One wife, 2 children, 3-bedroom house, 4-wheeler, and a $5-figure dollar salary. So that was all about him. But your purpose will be about, in some way, how you can change at least the world around you and your community. So if that is the case in your purpose, if that is there in your purpose statement, it is very important. And your purpose is something that will, it will give you great peace when you discover your purpose. If it is not, your selfish ambitions don't give you great peace. Your purpose gives you great peace. I'll tell you 2 other quick things, and I will close. So there was this girl who came to Hyderabad almost a decade ago, and I know some of her parents and all that in her hometown. And so I was like a mentor to her. Uncle, I finished my college, pray for a job. And we prayed for her, and she got a very good job. And I didn't see much of her after she got the job. But after a year and a half, she came and said, Uncle, pray for my promotion, because all the people who joined with me, they went to next level. I didn't get the next level. So we prayed for her. She got the next level. The next time I saw her, we said, Uncle, can you pray for an on-site posting? Because, some people are getting on-site posting. So she got we prayed, she got a beautiful on-site posting in Buffalo and New York State. And she came back after that. And but at that point of time, I sat her down, because she came with another prayer request. And I said, it's not about all these stages in things. You have to pray and ask God for your purpose. It's not about your on-site posting, your promotion, your something. This will all temporarily satisfy you, but will not permanently satisfy you. You have to find your purpose. Another one thing I will say, in the 17th chapter of Acts, if you don't mind me quoting the Bible, Paul is giving his most intellectual speech at Pegasus, Mars Hill. And there he says, if you read it carefully, he says, God has placed us in the place where we were born, and how among the people where we were born, with a purpose. Now, this is something that I have some very tough conversations with young people, because they think that escape from this country and go abroad. And no, nothing wrong about going abroad, but it should fit into your purpose, because God has placed you where you are with a purpose. And if you feel that there is no purpose and I should just escape from this place, that's not the right thing to do. And I'll tell you, you'll be aimless throughout your life. So you have to discover that purpose. It's through a lot of prayer and a lot of careful thought. It's an amalgamation of every aspect of your life will come together in your purpose. Even if one aspect of your life is left out, that means it's not the mosaic that God had created for you. It's like a painting that comes together from different hues and things. You have to work at it, pray, and discover your purpose.
Thank you, Anna. Before I go to the next question, I see people are leaving. So, in case if anyone wants to leave, I just want to tell that we are putting a feedback form here. So, your feedback will matter a lot to us on where to improve, on what else we can do, or what topics we can talk. So, the feedback is very important. So, if anyone is leaving early, please do fill in a feedback form. It will be helpful for us. Yeah. Moving on to the next question.
Thank
It's a
you.
follow-up.
Thank you, Jobin. That was very encouraging.
No.
Thank you for that answer, Pramod. People are leaving.
Okay. Okay, it came out
No,
bad.
but I'll
Sorry,
make it quick. I'll make it quicker. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry for making it sound bad. Yeah. The next question is, how can purpose be different from an ambition or goal? Just follow that.
Ambition is yourself. Purpose is the larger purpose. Purpose is larger than your ambition. Ambition is very small. It is selfish. However grand your ambition is, if it is restricted to yourself, then it is not a purpose.
Okay, cool. Yeah. The third question is it true that a person who has finished his degree during COVID will not get a job?
No, not at all. The job market has opened up like crazy. It is more than people are leaving. If you've read the news, Cognizant, for instance, has, I think I got the numbers right, 35,000 people have resigned. They want to hire 45,000 people. That's the trend everywhere. So they have, the job hunt has returned to pre-COVID-19 levels. But I will just give you a caution. You are used to the comfortable thing of people coming to the campus and searching for you. That may not happen. So you have to search. I want to tell you one more thing, that search is a lot of hard work. When I graduated, one friend whom I know, at that time we didn't have internet. He wrote, he got some pocket money for this. He printed 300 copies of his resume. He got the directory of companies and their addresses, and he sent it. It was such a diligent search. I was saying I applied to one company and I'm waiting for them to reply. That's nonsense. So the only thing is, jobs are available, and it's much better than when I was there, because you have so many different kinds of jobs to suit your interests. But you have to get up on your feet and start searching for them, please, and be as innovative as possible. They will not come hunting for you.
Ouch. Yeah. The next question. Can you please recommend some part-time job to work from home or best jobs to work from home?
No, I can't recommend. You'll have to search by yourself. Sorry for being harsh, but I don't know your field and everything like that, right? So in your field itself, and there could be part-time things. That example of I gave, it's a true example. The doctor who went and worked as a janitor. I also started with being an unpaid trainee in 1989, and in Enfield in Chennai. I was not getting a job because I'd done personnel management, and I was not very proficient in the local language. So it was really tough for me. I went to companies offering myself as an unpaid trainee, and then they gave me this job in Ranipet in Enfield, and they said I was ready to manage on my own. They said, we'll give you a monthly salary of stipend of 750 rupees, but that was not enough because the rent for the room which I took there was 350 rupees. And so I still had to borrow from my dad, even though he was in ministry. And I managed, but I searched, and then I did amazingly well there. They elevated me within 3 months, because there was no job that I said I wouldn't do. And I brushed up on my Tamil also, though I made a lot of mistakes, but I made it through a hard work. Now, the point I'm telling you is, there is a beautiful life learning when you're searching for a job. And that gets cut short if you get a job very easily. So my friend, I'm saying, go systematically, search the web, and there could be part-time jobs or working from home. And I know a guy who's in the US government now, one of my classmates. He's a high official in the US government. He started off by doing 3 jobs a day. You know, it's hard work. So if you want to find it, do search. And the reason I'm not answering is not because I'm trying to be harsh, is because I don't know your field. But I can only tell you, friend, it's there. You do a little search and don't go by recommendations, because that will not give you the valuable lessons. You learn a lot about yourself, your own aptitude, your interests, everything, if you're doing the search by yourself as far as possible.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for my son Deepak too, though I had some very good friends in high up places in the US. He had to search on his own, and he's so thrilled about it.
Amazing. Yeah. So the next question is, I'm passionate about two things, acting and helping people, but I do not know where to start. What do I do?
Okay. I just want to, I should have said it during my session. But friends, there's a difference between hobbies and career. Okay. Sometimes the two meet. And I'll tell you why. Because there are many people who are very skillful at things. They sing very well, they play the guitar very well, they make some movies, like how Jobin does. But you have to be very critical of yourself and see if your talent in your hobby, whether it is acting or something like that, is in the top 1%, you know, then you have a chance of making your hobby into a career. But if it is not, then take a hard look. I'll give you an example. There's a senior in my school, a very brilliant guy. He wanted to get into the school cricket team, and he worked really hard at it. And he got into the school cricket team, but he was not the best cricketer. But he was so passionate about his cricket that even afterwards, when he did his engineering in Usmania University, he got into the university cricket team also. But then, he was a smart guy. He wanted to make cricket his career. But his parents also, they talked to my dad, who was his teacher, his English teacher and all, and they said he's not that good enough in cricket to make it his career. So he gave up cricket, playing cricket, that is. And he wrote the cat. He got into IIM Ahmedabad. He started working in an advertising firm in Mumbai. He married his classmate Anita. And then at one point of time, he got an opportunity. He was still doing commentary for cricket. And I remember when he did his first commentary, some of you may know whom I'm talking. He's a guy called Harsha. He's now one of the top commentators. But he knew till he could make it his career, he kept these two separate. That was not his bread and butter. So he did commentary for a Ranji Trophy match in Hyderabad. I remember he had made so much notes, even though it was hobby, he worked so hard at it. A 400-page notebook he had written about all facts and figures about the cricketers. They were not national cricketers, Ranji Trophy cricketers who were playing. And that's how passionate. At one point of time, when he got this offer from ESPN, that's when he decided, now I'm good enough to make my hobby into my career. But these two are different things. For the majority of us, I can't be a Harsha Bogle, and I can't make commentary, though I like doing these things. But I will pursue it. Maybe in the future, at some time, it will become my career. But if you're not in that top 1%, be very careful about that. Helping people is possible in almost every field. My desire also is to help people. So I do coaching, which is part of my HR thing. And I'm telling you, I'm proud to say that even though I'm not as talented as some of the people that I've coached, I have enabled them to really rise very high. And that gives me so much satisfaction. So you're helping people is possible in any career. But right now, my advice to you is pursue excellence. You get into a position where you are really worthy of helping people, and then you do it. But then even at any stage, you can help people. Don't worry about that. For that, you can attach it to any career. But hobbies, be wise and discerning in when you can mix hobby and career. Sorry for the long thing, but I just wanted to share this.
Yeah, that was killer. Yeah, the next question. I'm 24, changed what I want to do twice, and now I'm so confused that I don't even know what I like. I have no idea where to go. I've passed ninth long ago. What
No
should I do
problem.
now?
No problem at all, my dear friend. No problem. It's better late than never. You know, by the way, everyone, there is a study which says that everyone changes their career at least thrice in their lifetime. I'm not saying job, I'm saying career, because the nature of work itself is changing so much. So at this point of time, you look at what the jobs are going, what are the trends, what are future proof, go back to the drawing board in your life and make your career plans. The only additional baggage that you'll have is you'll have a certain set of skills and experience, but still you can extrapolate those skills and experience and say, what will this job look like 5 years down the line, and prepare for it. In short, I want to tell you, my dear friend, don't worry, ninth is gone. That's no problem at all. I said it as an ideal thing, but if you're not, don't worry. You can get back to the drawing room and plan your career. But think of making your career future proof, and you'll do well, my dear friend. God bless you.
Amazing. Yeah, a similar person had asked that, can I chalk out my career today? So that would be the same answer for
Yeah.
that, right?
So when I talked to Selvin, I was coaching him all the way to Mysore. The poor guy suffered with my mentoring and my thing. But this was a question that he asked. Okay, Anna, you said that I chose the bus to Vijayawada. And now how do I go? Now we are halfway to Vijayawada. We are at Suryapet. And how do I go and catch the Mysore route? Because that's my destination. I said, you have to look. First of all, you have to think, is your destination still Mysore or not? And there are ways, there are shortcuts of coming from one destination to another destination. You'll have to think, reorient your destination. It happens with Google Maps all the time, right? Even if you take a wrong route, it reorients you. Like that in career also, there are ways. You just have to rethink and start from the scratch, my dear friend. And even if you feel that you're in the wrong line, don't worry. There are ways of amalgamating your interests and what you have done. And it has to come from careful thought and leverage what you have. No sweat lost. Even at this age, at 54, I told you, I'm a HR guy who's not supposed to be a technical guy, but I'm part of the team that is building a no code platform. I've learned some of these skills, and instead of doing learning and development, I'm doing deep learning and machine learning. Okay, which is possible. It doesn't depend on your gray hair. It's never too late to learn and reorient yourself. Be strong about it and be very careful and strategic about it. Don't be tactical. Tactical is on the ground. You first be strategic, then you come into the tactics. The mistake we make is we try about that. We spend so much time on the tactics. We don't go into a bird's eye view and look at the map and say, where exactly am I headed? You must draw the line and see where you're headed and then where you want to go, and do that. Do that in a strategic manner. God bless
Beautiful. Yeah. The next question is how to get rid of an addiction and follow the purpose in our lives.
This is not in our topic. Addiction is a whole thing, but I'll tell you, my friend. We do know people who can counsel, depending on how severe your addiction is. Please take some assistance, some help. Don't try to fight it on your own. Okay, do take some professional help. But in whatever your career is, that is true. If his addiction is a harmful one, please focus on getting rid of that now, and then you can focus on the career. For instance, when COVID-19 happened, the smart economies, including New Zealand and some real smart economies, they focused on insulating themselves from the infection. And then, even if that meant lockdown or something like that, and then they went back into reviving the economy. So it is with our lives. If there's a harmful addiction, set the career thing aside. There's a more pressing problem at hand. Work on that, number one, my dear brother or sister. Take some help. Don't do it alone. There are people who love to help others, and who would love you and care for you and help you on that. Then later on, we will see about the career aspect, but focus on this one first.
Cool. Wait, the next one is a little detailed question. It says, hi, here's my question. Currently, I'm learning React JS. I do not know what it is. I am halfway through it. Once I completed the course, where should I look for a job as a fresher, or how do I crack it? What will be the salary for the fresher, or what are your suggestions for a front end developer that the skills should be acquired?
So whatever skills, add AI ML to it, okay? And you can actually, I was talking about SEO, right? So just search for JDs where React JS is part of the requirement. And they will be in JDs, they will be preferable or mandatorily required. You look at the ones where they need that, and what are the other things that are associated and needed, then you'll get some idea. Now, salary for freshers are normally with these kind of skills, it is 5 LPA, that is 5 lakhs per annum, or upwards. That's now how normally it would be. But I would say don't look at the salary. Your currency is not the money currency. Your currency is how you can build your market value. So especially those who are doing CA and all that, they go through very low stipends, but they're building their market value with that. So at fresher level, don't get too hung up about salary. Look at things that will be useful for you 5 years down the line. I'll tell you another secret. The companies that pay very well is because they want to literally bribe you into doing something that normally you would not be willing to do unless you're paid very well. That's the philosophy behind high payment, because it thinks that you would enjoy and that would get you great value later on in life. Then they don't need to pay you so much because they're already paying you through the currency of market value.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Anna. The next question is
online trading and investing is a huge thing, boss. Unless I would say that, first build your career in a steady way. These are highly fluctuating and no one can predict. Of course, there are some skills, but learn it in a steady way. Start small and build it. Don't make that into your career until it's something like the hobby thing I said. Do it side by side. Do have a solid career. Do these things side by side. Help your skill. Set apart a small percentage if you want to invest and do some online trading till you become such an expert on it and a recognized person. Don't make it a full-time career. Unless you're working in a stockbroking firm, that's a different matter. But if you want to do it side by side now. Treat it like how you would treat a hobby. Have fun with it, because the word hobby itself makes you in a fun way. So set aside a risk-free amount that you would use to build your skills on it. I know colleges, top MBA colleges in the world, where they have an investment class. And there they will be asked to get a certain amount of money, 5,000 USD, or say 2 lakh Indian rupees or something like that. And then they would be taught some trading and all that. And some of them on the class have a natural flair for it and they make it into careers. Other guys flounder at it. So don't make that anything that if your attraction, you have to examine your heart. If your attraction is only the money part, my friend, that's not career. So that doesn't come into this talk. That comes into how to make a money, and you can make money in various ways apart from your career building. You can have a rich uncle, you can marry a rich person. There are various other ways which are not about career.
Cool. Andrew or Danny, can you please put up the feedback form link? Someone has asked for that.
Motivational videos, there are plenty. I will supply some for you. But I would say, nothing like reading the Psalms. Reading one Psalm or two Psalms a day is highly inspiring. The Proverbs give you wisdom. There are people who read one chapter of Proverbs and one or two Psalms a day. I would feel that's also, it gives you wisdom, and Psalms gives you inspiration. It's wonderful that way.
Cool.
Shall I stop talking now,
No,
Jobin?
no, no, no,
I
no.
can go on and on. Yeah. Sorry about it.
We have few questions. The question right before that is, it said, can you share some online platforms to learn and develop the skills that you
There's
mentioned?
so many, you know that very well. Coursera has so many free courses. Udemy is right now on a sale. They're selling at highly discounted prices. There's so many such online platforms. Great Learning, which is based in Chennai, now acquired by Baiju for I think 300 million USD or something like that. Of course, they were registered in Singapore. They themselves have so many free learning courses. All the big universities of the world, they're giving their courses online. They're letting you watch their lectures, some of them for free. So there are plenty of them.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to the last few questions that we have. It says, what is big data and logistics, etc.? Why do we need to do all tech stuff? What about biotech, medicine? And after all, we need biology with the diseases around.
You do need. So, but I'm telling you, see, what happens is, as human beings, we have limitations, correct? We can't do repeatable tasks. I can pick up this pen and drop it once. But if I have to do that 10,000 times a day, I can't do it. I need a machine to do it. If I have to drop it exactly in this thing, I can't do it. That level of accuracy, I can't, but a machine can do it. That's all we mean by technology, amplifying your human skills. So I know a doctor called Dr. Chinababu. He's a good friend of mine. He calls me for prayer and all that. He's one of the top robotic oncologists in the country. He works in Apollo Hyderabad, you know. And so I went to his operation theater. He doesn't perform the operation. The robot performs the operation. He is operated on several celebrities. So right in that large operation theater, the corner of the room is his little cabin with a computer. It's in the same room because if anything goes wrong, he's right there. And through the computer, he performs the operation. He didn't say that I don't want technology. I'm a doctor, I did my medicine. Because he's able to do that, he's able to do several operations in a day, and he's opened another hospital in Nizamabad. He's got automation into it, robotic oncology into it. He's able to, every Friday he goes there, he's able to do 7 operations a day there. If he was physically doing it, he would not be able to do it. So tech is coming in everywhere. Don't look at tech like a bad word, my dear friend. It's just amplifying your skills. If you don't want tech, then why are you even in this call? I mean, you're using so much tech. Do you go everywhere walking? So don't really have this thing about, I don't need technology in my life. It's just look at it in a pleasant way. And it's not very difficult. I was very poor in, I took MPC, and in these sessions, I say, you can ask me any question, but don't ask me my 12th standard marks, because I'm ashamed of my 12th standard marks. That's why I had to go to a college like MCC and recover my career. But the point is, at this stage, I'm, I know how important it is. I'm not just telling myself I'm poor in mathematics, I'm poor in physics, I'm poor in chemistry, but I've discovered that it's so much fun to learn when you can apply it in your life. So friends, don't be worried or don't have a stigma about tech. There's so many things that you can learn. Every kid makes us shameful by their proficiency in a cell phone. How do they do it? It's because they don't have that mental block about technology, which you might be having, my dear friend.
Okay, cool. The next question is,
Big data is all the science of, analyzing a lot of data points. That's what big data is. If I were to know, I mean, how do you suddenly get an information? See, I was just talking with Sheila that there's this place called Aruba in Mexico, I think it is, or Spain, I forgot. Yeah. And immediately I was getting advertisements. I don't know how, who heard me, which machine heard me, advertisements to take a holiday in Aruba, and that's all big data. They analyze so many different data points and they bring it together. So that's basically, it can be done by a machine. It can't be done by a human.
Yeah, cool. The next question is, most of the skills you have mentioned are mainly related to the corporate and the current trends. What about the people who want to start a career as an artist or anything which is not supported by Indian parents?
Yeah. So, some of these, again, some of these things may not be sustainable. So please think of it in a very practical way. These are just the top skills I learned. I didn't search for corporate. It so happens that they're coming into the corporate world. There are many other skills, but whether it is artist or music or anything like that, again, I'm repeating, unless you're in the top 1%, okay, I'll give you an allowance. If you're in the top 5%, then only you can make it into a career. If not, you search for your career separately, but continue this as a hobby till, and you continue doing that till you make it in, as a career, till you're good enough to make it as a career. Yesterday, I was talking about, I met a guy called Sandeep Bagchi. He's one of the good singers in Tollywood, and he was very close to SPB, and he was crying. In fact, when I mentioned about SPB, he says we were so close. He's working in Infosys. Okay, you can Google him. He's done so many live shows, he's sung in so many movies, but he has not yet made that into his career. He's saying, I still feel, that I have to get my bread and butter here. And he's an SAP professional. And I'll still keep this as a hobby. So be very careful about it. I know there's success stories. So I'm not saying give it up. My friend, I'm not telling you give up your artist dreams. Continue with that as a hobby till that point of time. You yourself will know whether it can sustain you, whether you can live on that income. Then you make the switch.
Yeah. The next, after this, we'll have a few more questions and then we'll get over with it. How to balance passion and profession, especially if my profession is not my passion and I cannot pursue my passion full time.
So somewhat part of the answer is there in that hobby and career thing. But friends, I just want to say, because I had it in me, I had a lot of mental blocks in my mind. Somewhere I told myself, I don't like this. I hate this. That actually dragged me down, my dear friends. So sometimes I was forced to live by the adage that says, if you don't get the job you love, start loving the job you have. So sometimes you have to bring these two together in from a practical point of view. I'm telling very practically, but I don't know, because nowadays it's not so hard to bring these two together, because in my days there were very limited careers. Everyone wanted to do engineering or medicine, correct? Now there's an explosion of careers. So there is a much better chance for you to marry your profession and not your girlfriend, but your profession and your passion. There is a much better chance. But if it is still not possible, two things I wanted to say. If you don't love the job if you don't have the job you love, start loving the job. Start opening your eyes and see the possibilities of this job. And the other thing, if it's still not possible, maintain your secret. This is my job. I will move towards this. I know a person, so many people, I've built those bridges in companies, who join in operations with a BCom degree or something, but they want to do technology. So we have these bridge courses, which we have in companies. And I know people who become very successful in technology, crossing over from non-tech to tech jobs. I know people crossing over from tech to non-tech jobs. It's possible. So very carefully plan for it.
Beautiful. We're having last two questions for the evening, and it says, you said it is because of prayer. Can you please summarize your purpose journey? At least share a few 3 points.
My friends, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and my life. When I pray, I don't do it in the traditional way. I normally go for a walk, sometimes a long walk, and I make it like a conversation with God. I even ask in between, uh, Lord, I hope, Jesus, that you're not feeling bored with what I'm saying. Oh, you don't feel bored. You love me so much. You actually want to hear me. I make it so conversational. Talk about your career with God. You should also talk to your parents, by the way. I saw a question which says, what about things which are not supported by Indian parents? You should talk to them as adult to adult, and if they see your interest, they will this thing. In the same way, in my prayer, I have these long conversations, and we discuss things. I bring Jesus into my personal SWOT analysis and say, Lord, what do you think are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are the opportunities? I discuss it. That's the kind of prayer I have. And honestly, I don't get a vision in front of me and God standing in front of me with a banner which says, take this HR job in Infosys. No, or there's no audible voice, this is the job that I have for you. No, but I know that thoughts are placed in my heart when I have this conversation. I'm literally able to maintain a conversation. That's the level of faith that I have, that God is with me, that He's standing beside me, and He's listening to me, and He's talking to me. And really, it has never failed. Once I locked myself up into a room, and I had two job offers in my hand. This was when I was very young. I was barely in my early 20s. And I said, Lord, I'm not, that was when I couldn't go on a walk. I locked myself up in the room and I said, Lord, I'm not leaving the room till you tell me, should I take this offer or that offer? And then I felt God telling me to do some writing and write down the pros and cons of both these jobs. And finally, the answer that I got from the Lord is, I'm not going to tell you which company to choose. That is yours. I'm giving you the liberty to choose. But I'm going to tell you one thing which I love you to do. And this was the Lord Jesus speaking to me, saying that whichever company you choose, you bring glory to my name by living up to the values that I have placed in your heart. And don't hanker after yourself and your promotions and everything else. Just go there to bring glory to my name. And I chose one, and I believe that God was with me in my choice. So it's possible to find your purpose through your prayer. Is that okay? I didn't put it in point 1, 2, 3, my friend.
Yeah.
TCS is the best company in the world. I spent more than 10 years in TCS. I helped set up the TCS training center in Trivandrum in 1998, and then the TCS training center in Buffalo, New York, and later on in Cincinnati. So it's the best company in the world. 1 year experience. I'm doing a project with Java, PLSQL, struts and springs. I'm just a fresher. Can you suggest me which technology to learn to build my career? You've done very well. You're doing a right project in an emerging technology. Please start, more than applying your technology, start solving the client problem. Clients get very upset where we are just looking for a place to regale them with our technical skills. They want you to solve their customer problems, and solve the problems also. Get involved in being there, get a good project and solve it. And whatever technology that takes to solve it, you do it. In TCS, we have placed people abroad. It's a very bad thing to say, but I'll say it, saying that they're Oracle experts, and all that we taught them was the spelling of Oracle. And then they learned it on their own, on the job, and they did very well in their customer sites. Just focus on doing very well and solving your customer problems, whichever ISU you are in, and you'll do very well, my friend.
Okay. Cool. That's it. We are done with the questions for today. We thought of wrapping it by 7:45, and look, here we are, 7:44. Amazing. Thank you, Mr. Pramod, for answering the questions in such a beautiful and detailed way. And